All right,
Let
so
us.
Kid Cudi got some announcements to make, or made some announcements rather.
Mhm.
Kid Cudi says starting a podcast called The Moon Man Chronicles, a
Mhm.
full review of each issue of Moon Man, which apparently is a comic book that he has,
Yeah.
and songs from the soundtrack that'll be available on YouTube. First episodes I'm recording in a couple weeks with Kyle Higgins. It will be live streamed and we'll be taking questions off the feed to answer on our show. Stay tuned because episodes coming. No, because what? Stay tuned because episodes 1, 2, 3 coming soon.
I think this is really exciting for Kid Cudi, and
This
it's
is
such
really
a
cool.
fun project to do. I mean,
Yes,
first of all, I did not know he had comic books,
me either. No clue.
and Kyle Higgins is kind of a big deal. I mean, he's worked with
It's-
DC and Marvel, and
yes, yes, he has.
that's
Big,
very cool.
big deal.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I think this is cool. I think it's a smart way to create engagement to keep people interested. Um, it's a smart way to just have a multimedia project. Um, I think this is just really smart and innovative. Kind of mad I didn't think about it first. You know what I'm saying? If anybody want to do a comic, you know what I'm saying? Let me know. Because you
I,
know I got the other two already hooked up. You know what I'm saying?
right.
But no, jokes aside, I think this is really cool. This is innovative. This is smart.
Mm.
I think this is like something more people should be doing if they have multi talents. If they have things they can do, it's always smart to create cross genre projects and just things that can exist in different spaces.
Yeah.
Comics are very popular. Music is what he's known for, and podcasts are very popular. So if you can do all three and tie them into one project, that is really, really smart. Because even if you just stumbled upon one, you may have interest in the others. And so I think this is really smart. I will not listen to the podcast, but I'm not against reading the comic. I'm also not against listening to the music. Kid Cudi, we know, makes good music. And so that helps because he has a fan base of, his music. And perhaps that will drive them to check out the other pieces of media, of content. I think this is really smart. Kind of mad I didn't think about it first. Um, and I think if you're talented in multiple fields, this is a great idea. I'm not saying you should do the same thing, but finding ways to um, show all your talents at once is a really smart way of doing it. Also, it creates a bigger digital footprint. And so people will search for Moon Man, and multiple things will now come up
Mm-hmm.
for Moon Man or Moon Man Chronicles. And I think this is super smart. I remember saying something similar to a guy I knew years ago. They sang R&B music.
Mm-hmm.
They choreographed dancing, like they did dance choreography. They were very into fashion and had already run like fashion shows before. Oh, Marion joined us on the podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, Marion is here channeling through Dashing D right now. That's a joke. For those who are listening but not watching, Dashing D was pop locking and dropping. Um and
I was choreographing.
I know what you was doing. I was being silly. So yeah, so this person, and then they designed, like drew and sewed the clothing. And I was like, yo, you could totally have a fashion show that you put together where the people come out to your music wearing the clothing that you created, like sketched, and then put together with like the sewing machine and stuff. I thought that would have been the flyest shit ever if they did that, but they didn't. I still think they should. If I had those kind of talents, I probably would do something like that. And yeah, I think that's a great way to incorporate your things and also show people like, hey, this I did all of this. All of this was me. I think it's a really good thing. I think it's a smart way to market, and to just put yourself out there.
Yeah. I mean, just it's really smart to bundle your content if you have that advantage. Um, because your reach will be greater.
Yep.
Like you said, somebody will look up Moon Man, but if I love listening to podcasts, I'm probably going to go listen to the podcast. Or if you love listening to the music, you're going to go listen to the music. It's going to help expand reach to some people who may see a comic book and not necessarily want to read the comic book, but there's another way for me to consume this content. So that is really smart. But also there is this thing that some of us do where if there are different ways to receive the content, some of us want all of it. So
Right.
um I'm someone who loves to watch a TV show and then hear other people or watch other people talk about it. So if I can watch a series and then find like video or even audio content, I do less of the audio content for stuff like that, but if I can find audio content of people who are talking about it or people who have opinions, or maybe it's even something that I like, but like no one else I know likes, it's always nice to find like other ways to consume that content or to get commentary on it because there's someone else out there who understands it. So really,
Agreed.
it's a really, really smart way to reach a lot of different types of people. But also just like in the name of doing cool shit, this is just a cool thing to do.
Absolutely.
Create a comic book. I mean, how many people are doing that?
Right.
Um, and then be able to like do these add-ons where you're creating a soundtrack to it, and people are very much into like rewatch podcasts and
Yep.
podcasts that are about books they read or things that will take you through that. So that is a great way um to introduce that content. So I think it's really cool. I had no idea he was doing any of this before.
Me either.
So I'm glad that it fell on our radar and now we know about it. And hopefully people who are watching this right now or listening to this right now also find it if they didn't know it existed, because I just think this is a really cool thing that someone's doing. And, any way that I can, check it out and share it, I'm willing to do so. I don't know what Moon Man does or who he is, but
Right.
I'm willing to find out. I think it's a really cool thing that Kid Cudi is doing. So congrats to him.
Yeah, definitely.